In our headlines this morning, Governor Soludo urges all to embrace farm to feed campaign for the food sufficiency. Ebenebe community, Oka South, holds crusade against idolatry. Power minister sets up committee to address grid collapses. South Korea moves arms for Ukraine as North accused of sending troops. A very good morning to you. Welcome to our breakfast news this morning. And just before we go, Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra state economy and the project of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. My name is Sijoma Uche. Welcome. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has restricted his administration's drive to slash prices of foodstuff to 80% in the coming year. The governor made this known while speaking to journalists in commemoration of the 2024 World Food Day.
Agriculture, Dr. Foster Ihejiofo, the governor said agriculture will continue to be a major sector for economic transformation and development in Anambra State. According to him, the developmental footprint of the present administration is tied to developing and sustaining the food production system in the state through the disbursement of over 2 million economic trees across the 21 local government areas of the state to enable farmers to improve economy of the agricultural sector. Governor Soludo encouraged all to embrace and key into the Farm to Feed campaign to follow the very achievable practical steps family can follow to mitigate the cost of foodstuff through Farm to Feed.
We do not need to moan over the spiraling cost of food. There is something that we could do, and that initiative, which is titled Farm to Feed campaign, Mr. Governor there demonstrated that there is very achievable practical steps that families could take, youths could take to mitigate the spiraling cost of food. There he also distributed input seeds and showcased very innovative farming techniques that will enable you produce food no matter where you are.
Akpo community in Agwata local government area of Anambra State has endorsed Governor Chukwuma Soludo for a second term in office. The community made the endorsement at the governor's one-day working visit to Akpo, during which he commissioned community projects, including a refurbished and modernized government-supported comprehensive primary health center, Akpo, and 6.5 kilometers road built by the community. Correspondent Joseph Ebocha was there and now reports.
With a second-term endorsement certificate, the traditional ruler of the community, Igwe Jonathan Okpala-Ezecha, the President General of Akpo Development Association, Mr. Henry Dim, Vice Chancellor of Peter University, One, Reverend Father Professor Emmanuel Umezingwa, and Chief Patrick Umerioha commended the governor's strides in various sectors of the state economy, adding that his visit to the community was remarkable.
Yes, we are sure my committee will be 100% accurate. No doubt about it. 100%. We want to encourage them to do, and those people are gainfully employed. And our children, the future of this state, are better for it. So we want God to embrace him all the more.
Our solution, I'm going to go what they not carry Jabambo. We're not such a good one rope when I thought, okay, Missy, but I think I know Jesus.
For 3 days, Christians in Ebenebe, Oka North local government area, has been gathering at St. Thomas Anglican Church, Ebenebe, to seek God's face against rising return of idolatry in the community. The crusade, themed Out of Darkness into Light, according to the organizers, was carefully chosen to address the increasing spiritual challenges within the community, particularly the resurgence of idolatry, which speakers at the crusade described as spiritual death.
Of the crusade, which ended with a special Sunday service, the guest preacher and Anglican Bishop of Diocese of Amishi, Right Reverend Ephraim Ikako, implored Christians to run away from idolatry and seek true freedom in Jesus Christ. Bishop Ikako emphasized the dangers of being enticed by worldly pleasures, warning that any form of worship or devotion outside Christ is a path to spiritual death.
We are living in a very critical time. The Bible calls it perilous times. Ministers really have to sit up. Let us preach the sound doctrine and live by example as ministers of the gospel.
Most of our youths are returning to idol worshiping, probably because there is a lot of slaughtering of cows and rams because of what they will eat and drink. So they are choosing to go back to those idol worshiping, because we know that idol worshiping is a sacrifice that has to do with darkness, a service that has to do with darkness. But to serve the living God, you have to come to the light of God through Jesus Christ.
N'ọchịchịrị mgbachi niile nke gbachiri n'ebe n'ebe na site na crusade a n'ọchịchịrị ga-agba ọsọ n'ihe ga-abata n'obodo a ebe n'ebe.
Emmanuel Shibata for ABS News.
Local government mayors and councillors in Anambra State have been urged to follow the developmental initiatives and strides of Governor Chukwuma Soludo by ensuring that the dividends of democracy are provided nearer to the people. Speaking in Oka, a lecturer in the Faculty of Law, Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Oka, Dr. Livinus Mokike, said that this will accelerate development in various communities and entrench sustainable democratic culture. He noted that restoring democratic governance at the grassroots is one of the greatest achievements of Governor Soludo, and explained that by conducting local government elections, the governor has fulfilled the provision of the 1999 Constitution as amended, which guaranteed the existence of local governments in Nigeria and which was the dream of the founding fathers of the associations of local governments in Nigeria. The Minister of Power, Mr. Adebayo Adelabu, has set up a forensic investigative committee to address the incessant grid collapses. A statement by the minister's media aide, Bolaji Tunji, said Mr. Adelabu worried at the disturbance of the national grid, which threw some sections of the country into darkness twice within the past week, summoned the leadership of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission and the Transmission Company of Nigeria to an emergency meeting at the weekend. The minister expressed displeasure at the incident, which he said was capable of rubbishing the giant strides made in the last 1 year, which has led to an increased generation and distribution of 5.527 megawatts, a record generation in 3 years. It was mentioned that the committee will holistically review the national grid stability and identify investments and technical capacities required to make the grid smart and resilient. South Korea has pledged it will take measures to counter military cooperation between Russia and North Korea, despite denials from Pyongyang that it has sent troops to support Moscow's war in Ukraine. Officials in Seoul said that the alliance between Russia and North Korea represents an international threat and pledged that South Korea will work with its allies to implement countermeasures potentially, including the provision of arms to Ukraine. South Korea summoned the Russian ambassador after it accused the North of sending 1,500 soldiers to fight alongside Moscow's forces in Ukraine. North Korea has dismissed Seoul's assertion as groundless rumors. The National Security Council said sending troops to Russia's illegal war of aggression in Ukraine is a significant security threat. Leicester City's midfield powerhouse Wilfred Ndidi has secured his place among Nigeria's Premier League legends, becoming the ninth Nigeria to reach 200 appearances in England's top flights. With his achievements, Ndidi joins an exclusive group of Nigerian football players who have had a lasting impact on the Premier League. He now joins such greats as former Arsenal player Nwankwo Kanu, who is second placed with 272 Premier League games, and Shola Amobi, who has the most Premier League appearances by a Nigerian with 298. Ndidi has established himself as a staple in Leicester's midfield because of his consistency and work ethic. He is currently behind the number of appearances made by well-known athletes like Victor Moses, 220, and Victor Anichebe, 205. The 27-year-old defensive midfielder can move up even on this esteemed list. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube at ABS Television, on X at ABS Radio TV, and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. Main points as we conclude this news package. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has asked Anambra to embrace farm to feed campaign for food sufficiency. Ebenebe community, Oka South, has held crusade against idolatry. Prime Minister has set up committee to address grid collapses. And finally, South Korea has mauled arms to Ukraine as North accused of sending troops. And that's our breakfast news this morning. Thank you very much for joining. My name is Sijoma. Have a good day.